Hello class. So we are back for part 2 of our multi-product opening of the card game Host, which obviously you'll see slightly in the background. Not sure what's getting on camera, what's not, because obviously I'm trying out a new camera angle off of an actual camera. And we're on to number 2 of the lovely character decks that they've sent. So this time we're onto a nice dragon one, which I know will interest a lot of people. And this is Meridius, Elder Dragon of Jihnra. So obviously, still looking at the size as usual. Got the hosts logo, then, ooh, this is really nice. So character deck Meridius contains a pre-built 51 card deck sculptured around Meridius. Meridius, yeah. Elder Dragon of Jihnra, and has everything you need to begin your journey into Host. Use large entities with powerful effects to hold sway over any threats your opponent puts out and lay traps to disrupt their plans. So this is the I'm going to punch you in the face hard, but also counter your stuff at the same time, which is really nice. And obviously the usual notes contains one deck for one player. Each player will need their own deck to play Host. And obviously, as usual, visit Host, find out more about Host, check out the How to Play guide, and use our deck builder to take your games to the next level. QR code there. Obviously, website as usual will be in our lovely description. As I attempt to get into this, because how it slots together is it catches ever so slightly with the gap here and this tab here, so it's a little bit hard to open sometimes. So chuck the storage box out of the way. Obviously you're going to just do it again, because obviously you may have come to plan this video first, but as you see me reflected in there. Beautiful. But this is the lovely back. I might have been reflected in the first one, just not noticed. But oops. Lovely plastic wrapping, if I can get into it. Oof, there we go, we got into it. But now I can show you a bit better. You still see me slightly, because the back's reflective. But really nice backs. And, ooh, let's look at this host, which, here we go. The Elder Dragon of Jihnra. His skill is... I still haven't looked up this logo yet. I think it's the rest it. To return what target sorcery, dragon sorcery, or dragon ambush from your drop zone to your hand. Oh, so this gets your spells back. Oh, that's really nice. So I'm going to pop you over here to the side for now. And we'll look at our first card. So you can see here we've got a different symbol this time to what we had the last time. And this is the Breath of Fire. So, beautiful art. And it's a simple sorcery, just deal 4 damage to target entity. Nice and simple. Have 4 damage. So, really nice. I got 4 copies of that one. Then we've got this next one, which is the Breath. Wow, they're really getting productive with these names. We've gone from Breath of Fire to Breath of Ice, which we have got 3 copies of. It looks the same as the next one, which we'll get to in a minute. So, Breath of Ice has activate when your opponent starts a phase. All entities your opponent controls lose all effects until end of turn. Okay, so this confirms that there's phases in the game, which is really nice. And you've got the Breath of Ice, so I'll move my thumb so you can actually see it a bit better. Really nice looking. I don't know if there's a limit to number of spells and all that. You can the ambush. Oh, it's an ambush, that one, so that's a counteract one. But I don't know if there's a limit to number of sorceries you can activate, number of ambushes you can set, all that stuff. Because I've not looked into it yet. So the next one is our next breath, which is the Breath of Wind, which is another ambush. Activate when your entity your opponent controls attacks. Return that entity to its owner's hand. So it's a bounce your opponent's cards back to hand, which is interesting. As I've got a moth attacking me at the same time. That's a breath of wind. Next one is 4 copies. And that's this card, which is Claire, Head Librarian. So a scholar. When this entity is created from your hand, draw 2 cards and discard one. Oh, so what we can technically do is with this one, we can draw 2, discard a card, and then use this guy, if we discarded a sorcery or an ambush, to add it back to hand again, so we don't actually lose out. Really interesting. Some really good early game combos. Presuming I am right in how this all works. We'll find out in the how to play video if I was correct or not. So we got a lovely dragon treasure. So draw 3, then either discard a dragon entity or discard your hand. So you've got to discard a character for this one, so you can't combo off this one so much, but we do draw an extra card out of it. Which I think is the balance behind it, because obviously if we could discard our sorceries or ambushes with this, it would then make the head librarian being redundant. So really good. You get some different options for what you want to do. Oh, we got a mini dragon this time. So this is a Dragonius chick. Yep, dragon hatchling. Really cool art. When this entity is created from your hand, shows your deck for a dragon entity except... Oh! So this lets us search our deck for what we need. Except itself for the fact of obviously this is a cost 0. So if we could obviously search for this, you'd just chain this into the next copy, into the next copy. But no, getting to set up your hand is really nice. Search for your key pieces. Next one, we've got 4 copies of our first actual non-searching itself entity. And it's got really cool art, and that is the Dragon of Constanti. When this entity is created, destroy 2 target entities, then draw a card. So obviously, like with the other deck, we don't have any designated targets, so we can obviously destroy our own if we need to. So it could lead to some more combos again. But if not, on place, destroy a target entity, destroy 2 of our opponents, and draw a card. I won't say no to that. But it does have a hefty 5 cost behind it. Next one is 2 copies of this one, which is the Dragonus of Fretia. Oops, move my hand. When this entity is created, destroy all face-down cards. So, really good for counteracting your opponent's ambushes, but it does say destroy all, so it would destroy yours as well. But 2 copies of that for a 4 cost, ruin your opponent's traps is really interesting. Then obviously we've got, not obviously, but next we've got is 3 copies of this one, which is Edith of Castle Keep. Oops, come on camera. There we go. This entity cannot attack. At the start of your turn, reveal the top card of your deck. If that card's entity, put it into your hand. Okay. So we can't attack with this, which, fair enough. I'm guessing this is the attack power here of 1, and that's its health. But we should be able to block with it at least. And start your turn, draw cards. Not bad, if it's an entity. Which we seem to be having quite a few entities in the deck. Seems that we've gone from here. These are all entities. So get quite a few entities in your deck at least. Obviously, I've not looked into deck building yet. So I might be completely wrong and this is an imbalanced deck, but I doubt it. But once I know more, we'll look into it a bit more. Next one. Ooh. Guiding Light. At the start of your turn, gain... Oh, okay, so that symbol must be in the energy cost then. So we gain 2 and lose 1. Okay. So it means this symbol here, which will obviously have popped up in editing, thank you, future me, will have actually properly explained it, and more than likely called me an idiot. Alright, so then... this one next. At the start of your turn. That's a lingering sorcery. So this is like a field spell type thing. Okay. Start your turn. Put a cooling counter on this sorcery. Remove X colon counts from this sorcery, minimum 1. Create a dragon entity with cost X from your deck. Ooh. Then you sacrifice this sorcery to shuffle 3 target cards from your drop zone into your deck. So we've got a bit of recursion to get our... So we can use this, technically, to remove 1, to grab our grade 0, to then search stuff. This is a really search-based deck. I like this. Still going, because we've got piles of cards. This one seems to have a lot more 2-ofs, it seems, just to balance it a bit more. But then we've got this Mysterious Egg, which is a sorcery. Search deck for a dragon entity or Mountain's Peak and put it into your hand. Then discard a card. Oh, so this grabs the card up here. This is really cool. 0 costs for all of this, which is interesting. Then we've got 2 copies of this one, which is another entity of Ophelia of Serenity. Pay that cost to destroy target entity. Okay. Bit of a heavier cost behind it, but understandable if you're going to be able to, once a turn, destroy something. As that card won't stay where I put it. Then we've got 4 copies of our next card, which is the Priestess of the Afterlife, which is a form of a demigod. Okay. Move my thumb a little bit. Deal 1 damage to your host, to then deal 6 damage to target entity. You may only use this effect once per turn. Okay, that's a very, very big pile of damage. So in the mirror match, where obviously these are the bigger entities, this would be really good. Obviously, you do deal 1 damage to your host, but I think that's a fair balance of the cost. And last card is 4 copies of Zin, Master of Pain. So when this entity attacks, deal 2 damage to target entity your opponent controls. So that's this deck. This one's very much interesting. Oh, as I've got a little bit of glare right where I didn't want it to be. Oh well. It's just because the cards are actually really nice glossed. But this one, very much searching, get what you want, and pummel your opponent in. So this is more of the aggro play style, it seems to be, which is really nice. But that's going to be it for this video. Please be sure to check out hosts in the description below. And as I mentioned in the first video, they have got their 4th character deck dropping 1st of May, which I will pop a little visual on screen as I did last time, because it's cute. I actually quite like it. And I shall catch you guys in the 3rd video. Bye bye.